Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Blade Idol with all options for God tier. So if you're Blade Idol player or perhaps Idol gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Right then guys, so in the latest weeks I got to admit I have responded on a lot of comments in regards to what options need to select, be it for a weapon, armor, maybe a monster figurine, etc. So I decided to put it all into one video so it will be easier for you just to see what is a best in slot. At the same time I will do also a follow-up on this one so I can address also a heaven tier, and this way you're gonna have two videos where you know everything about a top two tiers. So without further ado, I'm gonna kick off with a first aspects I wanna address today, and that's a weapon itself. So when it comes to weapon, your primary options you should be aiming for is gonna be a super critical damage, and alternative to that it's a upgrade option attack. Obviously bear in mind, especially if you just starting with rolling your options, you will not always be able to squeeze everything on a god tier when it comes to option itself, so therefore a mythic should be just enough. Obviously later on when you start farming more and more resources, then by all means try to aim for this a beautiful red color. Right then, so the next thing we want to address is a armor, and in here I want to talk about all three pieces of that equipment. So again, you're gonna go for a super critical damage as a primary option and an upgrade option attack as secondary, but bear in mind in here this is only as half effective as weapon, so ideally you want to go for super critical damage wherever possible. And then we're gonna address skins, and there is obviously a multiple skins on a god tier. So the first set actually will always go for upgrade option attack, and alternatively you can go for penetration or accuracy. And actually a top 3 of the god tier skins you can go for upgrade option attack or super option attack, and this super option attack would not be available on a previous one, so therefore this is only a top 3. And when it comes to these two options, I would definitely just try to select both of them and see which one you're gonna land first, as this gonna be actually close one to another. The next thing I want to address is gonna be ego itself, so I'm gonna head into inventory. I'm gonna go on ego and start with sword itself. So when it comes to a sword one, very similar to what we did with a original weapon itself, we're gonna go for a super critical damage as a primary one and upgrade option attack as secondary. And then when it comes to armor of ego, in here again you want to go for a super option attack as your primary one and upgrade option attack as a secondary option. Obviously towards end of grinding a god gear you will see more and more of this super option attack, and this is gonna be one of your new modifiers, so you want to start squeezing as much as possible. Okay, so the next one I've got for you are figures itself, and obviously you've got 3 different types. So when it comes to a monster figure, you want to actually go for upgrade option attack as a primary option. When it comes to a master figure, you want to go for either penetration or accuracy, and alternatively if you cannot land these, go again with a little bit of upgrade option attack. Bear in mind that's not gonna be as effective as a monster one, but at least you are getting some good options here. And finally the costume figure, this is again when you're gonna start topping up your super option attack with alternative upgrade option attack. And then when it comes to accessories, obviously you got 3 different types of accessories. You're gonna have accessory which will boost your attack, defense and HP. And actually these two, attack and HP, will have exactly same options, so you should go for upgrade option attack as well as critical damage as alternative. If you cannot get lucky and land these, I would definitely top it up with penetration or accuracy. There is never enough of these options, so if you cannot land a good options and you lack enough resource, then just go and land any of these. And when it comes to a accessory which will then provide you additional defense, again you should be aiming here for penetration or accuracy. And then we're moving over to pets, and when it comes to pets and a god tier, you should be upgrading upgrade option attack or super option attack. Again, in the later stages you're gonna have more of this super option attack, and if you cannot land these options, again go for penetration and accuracy. Bear in mind that you will be able to start squeezing a more and more Heaven's Gear. When it comes to pets, this is still a very difficult to start unlocking a god tier pets, therefore you will be slowly grinding and go for any of these offensive options. And finally, lastly, I've got for you Seal itself, so I'm gonna head into Relic and Seal, and even if I tap on one of these mythical ones, you actually want to start going for upgrade options attack, and you can actually go for penetration and accuracy. And then when it comes to the god tier, which I'm actually unable to show you any of the options because I have not unlocked even a level 30, but in here you want to actually start going for a super option attack, and alternatively you're gonna go for upgrade option attack. So I was only able to show you pretty much options, but bear in mind, obviously you're gonna have your options from a rare grade, so as much offensive stats as possible, and once you finally land on these god ones, then you're switching into a super option attack. But you can probably tell there is quite a lot of similarities. You'll be always going with as much offense as possible, and this is as always with everything when it comes to options. You can always tap on this question mark and see which of the stats is standing out. And for instance, super option attack, it's one of these new modifiers as mentioned earlier, and this will always be in a small percentage. Again, you need to stack this up to be more efficient. So that will be it, guys, when it comes to all options of the god tier, and obviously look forward to a next video where I'm gonna be addressing Heavens. Thank you very much, guys, for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.